Hello traders, this is CloudChartist with your weekly Ichimoku wrap-up for the week ending September 2nd. It's September 5th right now. Monday, Labor Day. Congratulations, we made it through another summer. Very much summer trading conditions. Lots of doldrums and sideways action. In my trading room, we did really well. We were averaging about 10 points a day on the ES, mostly due to, playing the range. Buying the dip has still been a working trade, despite all this sideways price action. It seems quite choppy, but if you, my strategy of just buying support levels has been working well. Anyway, looking at crude here, we see that I'm going to be, in this video, I'm going to be going over the prior candle rather than the candle that's new. This is obviously the current candle that's being built right now, but I'm going to be talking about the candle before, because actually that's last week's candle. Usually I try to make this video before the new candle comes up, but I was late. So I'm going to zoom in so we can get some closer views on what's going on here. So last week we see that we did come down and close right just about on the top of the cloud and the Tenkan-sen. I considered that fact that we retraded inside the cloud and tested the Kijun-sen, then came back and closed at the top of the cloud to be a buyable event. So I got long crude on Friday, and I'm still long, and I'm intending on staying long. What would take me out of that trade would be a lower low than last week's candle. So we see that we have the Chikou over here, this red line representing price action time shifted 26 periods into the past. That is going to come into resistance up here at the cloud at around 47.77. So that will be an important level of resistance to the upside if we do continue to see higher prices. Let's move along so crude is fully bullish in Ichimoku terms. Let's move along to the ES. Pardon my drawings there. So we see on the ES, we're bull flagging, moving, chopping along sideways, very small range, small doji type candles. If we do get a significant, so we currently do have a trend change to the downside, which is confirmed by this candle, putting in a lower high and a lower low. If we do find more selling, we can expect to find support at the Tenkan-sen, currently located at 21.5575. That is almost 22, 21 and a quarter points lower. But it wouldn't be out of the question for us to pull back that far and still be completely bullish and set up to move higher on the ES on the weekly time frame. Let's look at the NASDAQ. Same with NASDAQ, bull flagging, consolidating sideways after a strong uptrend. Tenkan-sen is bull crossed over the Kijun-sen, meaning that it is above the Kijun-sen. So if we do get a pullback on the NASDAQ, it could go back as far as 46.7625 and still be entirely bullish in Ichimoku terms. Let's look at the Russell, which has been screaming higher. Very nice uptrend, not a lot of it's flagging, but not a lot of real sideways because we're still trending up. Although we did see the last two candles, last week's candle, which is the one I'm technically analyzing, and this candle, unable to get higher than this 1250 level. So we'll see what this week's candle does. If we do get a pullback, we could pull back all the way down to 12.80 and still be entirely bullish in the weekly time frame in Ichimoku terms for the Russell. Let's look at the Dow. Bull flag moving sideways with Tenkan-sen support at 18,328. Let's look at some metals. Gold last week put in a potential reversal candle after this downtrend that was in place after we closed below the Tenkan-sen the week before. Last week we put in a hammer type candle with a large bottoming tail. We were unable to get back above the Tenkan-sen, so the Tenkan-sen is key here, 1341. If you want to be bullish gold, you want to get back over that Tenkan-sen as soon as possible in order to move higher. Overall, though, this chart is bullish, except for the fact that we're under the Tenkan-sen. Tenkan-sen being flat and the Kijun-sen being flat sets us up for a potential range trade between the flat Tenkan-sen and the flat Kijun-sen, which wouldn't be bad. That would, wouldn't be terrible to move sideways for a while, even if you want to be bullish on gold. Let's look at silver. I'm looking at silver actually ripping on the 5-minute time frame, just made a new high. But we see here that we're running right into weekly resistance at 1963.8. Perfect. Right into the weekly Tenkan-sen. I'm going to tweet that. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, sorry for the interruption. Back from Twitter land. I just felt like, when I'm watching charts intraday and I see something hitting a weekly level, I always like to tell anyone who might be listening and interested. All right, so it's important if you want to be bullish for silver that we put in a close above that weekly Tenkan-sen, otherwise it will continue to act as resistance moving forward. Let's look at some treasuries, shall we? This is the 30-year treasury bonds. Last week we put in a pretty bearish candle, very large topping tail. Part of this was due to its contract change gap, but you see that we did manage to hold the Kijun-sen. So it's important if you want if you're hoping that bonds will go higher, that we continue to hold the Kijun-sen, and the new candle is like right on the Kijun-sen as well. So overall price action is bullish because we are above the cloud. We do have a very nice supportive rising cloud. That's exactly the kind of cloud that you want to see moving forward if you are bullish. But the fact that we're trading below the Tenkan-sen and potentially below the Kijun-sen is at 169.04, so we're a couple ticks below it at the moment. It's important for the Kijun-sen to hold. Otherwise, we could continue down, maybe test this consolidation range, top of this consolidation range area that's back down at 166.20s, something like that. Let's look at a 10-year. The 10-year is under the Tenkan-sen and the Kijun-sen. So not looking particularly bullish, although technically bullish because it is over the cloud. In fact, we're selling here, and I'm actually short ZB right now. So just sorry, minding my trade. It stops there. I tend to trade with OCO orders, OCO brackets on my trades, which allows me to be multitasking without, potentially letting a trade go out of control. By OCO order, I mean one cancels other. That means if one of my orders gets taken out, the other one will be canceled. And so I basically put brackets around my trades when I'm not, when I don't have my finger on the mouse right next to the trade. Which allows some flexibility because you can, make I like to think of the bracket as like my golden lasso, because you can make that tighter or looser, have good control over the parameters of your trade, especially when you have excellent levels as provided by Ichimoku charts to work with. You have pretty good indications of what's going to happen next. And what to do if that indeed happens or doesn't happen. Anyway, that didn't really make any sense, so let's move on. Let's look at what else is there to look at? Let's look at the dollar. The dollar is was in a strong uptrend, put in a spinning top type doji, but did close above the Tenkan-sen, yet under the cloud. And then this week's candle is so far not holding that Tenkan-sen. So I find actually I've been watching dollar yen as has more information as far as what the dollar's doing. You see that we have this nice weekly channel. We did put in a close above the Tenkan-sen last week, which was important if you want to be bullish for the dollar, especially against the yen. Now this week it is trading back under that weekly Tenkan-sen, so do keep an eye on that 103.51, 103.50 level if you are trading the dollar yen as a potential area that needs to hold. Overall, of course, this chart is bearish in Ichimoku terms. I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of your Labor Day weekend. And if you are interested in learning more about Ichimoku, feel free to check out my website, CloudChartist.com. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up on YouTube. It helps. Feel free to leave a comment and ask any questions that you might have. And I'm always available to be contacted on Twitter @CloudChartist. Thanks again, and see you next time.